In a laboratory with dim blue lights, there is a man holding a newly created drug pill in his hand. His name is Myung-jun, a notorious drug dealer. In the past, he was an officer. Why did an officer like him have to go down this drug trafficking path? Let's follow along. Myung-jun always keeps a cool head. He has not made a mistake in more than 10 years. Despite facing the law of the jungle in America, Myung-jun still defeated his opponent with his great ability. But Myung-jun was still caught, red-handed by the American police force.
Now get the fuck out.
In fact, Jack had not asked for instructions, but he had sent special police to arrest people. This gave his superiors a headache. The source of drug consumption and the source of money still had to be further investigated. Myung-jun was originally an officer of North Korea. It is not clear why he ended up in the drug trafficking business. Chul Ryung is also a North Korean officer. Chul Ryung was sent to arrest Myung-jun for interrogation. According to the North Korea-US security agreement, the US is currently negotiating with North Korea to minimize trouble as much as possible. The superior ordered Jack to send a car to take Chul Ryung and Myung-jun back. This process must be kept absolutely secret. Normally there would be no problems, but the more favorable the situation, the more it proves that something is wrong. The failure of the escort mission temporarily subsided. Another character appeared. In a scam den in Korea, the handsome men and women learned from the criminals of northern Myanmar to make scam calls. But the women in Korea were too familiar with this trick, so it was easy for them to cheat money. Change the way you say it. They know this trick better than you do. This was what the handsome man wearing black glasses, Jin Tae, said. He was an undercover cop in Korea. He claimed that he had done this job in Hainan in the Philippines. Now Jin Tae wanted to join the scam gang to teach them how to scam. But the camera installed on Jin Tae's chest was so eye-catching that the other person recognized him at first sight. The fake passport, fake savings account number, and computer phone were still not investigated. In order for Jin Tae to break this fraud ring, he deliberately ordered a fake passport to lure the mastermind into the trap. The man knew how to make fake passports with authentic stamps. He said he was a Korean-Russian hybrid, so his skills were definitely impeccable. Before Jin Tae could do anything, the patrolling police noticed.
봉천동 부녀자 연쇄 납치 사건 몽타주랑
변태 새끼! 그래서 외국으로 튀려고 위조 여권을 광수대 경찰이라고 거의 다 잡은 밤에
Only then did he realize that he seemed to have been shot in the stomach. He touched the wound, and it seemed like it was his own blood. When Jin Tae's wound healed, he was transferred by the criminal police team to investigate cybercrimes. Every day, he had to handle extremely difficult cases. For example, someone bought a used phone online. When the buyer opened the package, they received a pile of shit. Or the case of two young men fighting from an internet cafe all the way to the police station. Jin Tae said fighting in an internet cafe is a cybercrime. If fighting with a keyboard is a cybercrime, then fighting with money and people is a financial crime. Fighting with a computer is called a math crime. If Chul Ryung hadn't appeared, Jin Tae's life would have been like this forever. After the failure of escorting a drug criminal before, the North Korean investigation agency stepped up the investigation. They found out that Myung-jun's gang had sneaked into South Korea using fake passports. That year, Myung-jun used his position as an officer to research drugs. After earning enough money, he took the $1 billion and disappeared. Now his superior superiors have ordered Chol Ryung to take action. Chol Ryung must bring Myung-jun and the $1 billion back at all costs. A week later, he had a meeting with the delegation in Seoul. He hopes to receive good news from Chol Ryung then. Myung-jun comes from the military, so he has always been discreet in his work. He knows he is being targeted, so he needs to quickly take the money and run. The $1 billion were hidden in Switzerland by a Korean bar owner. Myung-jun kindly informed her to quickly prepare the money for him. The hottest industry in Korea right now is live streaming, and anyone can participate. The girl in front of the screen said, "Come here today, like and follow. I love you all." That girl is Min Young, Jin Tae's sister-in-law. She has been live streaming beauty products for a year and has earned less than 800,000 won in total. Min Young can't even pay her phone bill, so she has become the laughing stock of her family. Min Young angrily asks, why did he do that to her? She was very famous when she was young. Then she got sad and stopped eating. Jin Tae's current job is quite boring. He says investigating cybercrimes is boring. The glorious days of shooting and fighting to catch suspects are getting further and further away from him. Jin Tae really wants to join the criminal police force, but Jin Tae's chance is coming soon. Chol Ryung has to go to Korea to arrest drug criminal Myung-jun, so he hopes that the Korean police will send someone to help. This good opportunity falls on Jin Tae's head. Actually, no one wants to accompany Chol Ryung, and this mission is extremely dangerous. The last time almost killed them and Myung-jun, so they cherish their lives even more. They chat with each other, just register and you will be selected. The person next to him said he had already set a wedding date. Hearing that Chol Ryung was coming, Jin Tae's wife was the first to object. The last time the whole family was on a mission, they almost sat there inhaling smoke. Only Min Young was the happiest, because the last time Chol Ryung broke up, she told Min Young that they would definitely meet again when the North and South were unified. It was just a polite statement, but Min Young took it seriously. Chol Ryung's face and body were so beautiful that no girl could resist. Jin Tae's wife threatened to divorce him if he continued to be involved with Chol Ryung. Jin Tae had no choice but to agree, but in fact, he refused to miss the opportunity. Whether he could return to the criminal investigation team or not depended on this mission. The most relaxed person in the family was Min Young. In order to meet Chol Ryung, Min Young did not hesitate to disassemble the air conditioner to steal Jin Tae's secret funds. Min Young also threatened Jin Tae that if he did not help her meet Chol Ryung, she would tell his wife about his mission so that the two of them would quarrel. After that, he was not allowed to return to the criminal police force. When old friends met again, they both felt on the same wavelength. Chol Ryung wondered if Jin Tae was the only criminal police officer in the Southern Dynasty. Jin Tae said that it was only him. Both of them had foodie souls, so the first thing they did when they met was to have a meal. The case had to be discussed, but grilled meat also had to be eaten. When they were about to leave, their superiors told Jin Tae to pay more attention. Chol Ryung had come from far away in the Northern Dynasty, so he was sure that he was not only there to catch criminals, but also had other intentions. Jin Tae was an honest person, so he asked. So Chol Ryung deliberately leaned close to Jin Tae's ear. He whispered that he was sick of hearing this stupid sentence. The team on this side couldn't hear clearly, so they turned up the volume. This embarrassed the whole team. The first battle of wits had failed miserably. Then Chol Ryung took out 2 pictures of geckos and asked if anyone around here had tattoos like that. Jin Tae laughed at Chol Ryung's way of solving the case because it was too outdated. Nowadays, Korea has already introduced technology into solving cases. Then Jin Tae happily told his subordinates to search for the picture on the computer. As a result, they found the real seller of this drug online, so they closed the deal pretending to buy the drug. The other party said that they would deliver the drug on a motorcycle within 30 minutes. Now they just had to search for the suspicious motorcycle in the neighborhood using the security camera. The guy in the pink hat who just threw the item was the seller. Jin Tae and Chol Ryung rushed over to open the package of drugs. Chol Ryung was extremely impatient. He was about to jump out and arrest the person, but Chol Ryung was held back by Jin Tae because there was a surveillance camera. The suspect was heading south. Solving cases with technology is quite fast. Their lair is on the rooftop.
들어가. 가라고. 응?
무기 사용 금지 5분간 해제다잉. 그래 짭새다 인마.
Where did they get this medicine? They hadn't seen them before. They were left here because they were expanding their sales. The guy in red volunteered to be a witness, so he wouldn't be beaten anymore. He said that after selling the goods, the seller would come to collect the money. Sure enough, less than half an hour later, the seller appeared.
대한민국 경찰이다. 움직이지 마.
네가 어떻게 여기 있니?
여기 추락사고 발생했다. 응차 보내줘.
He had a traumatic brain injury from the sedative and wouldn't wake up until the next morning. They had almost killed the suspect earlier. This made the Korean police unhappy. Fortunately, they were criminals wanted by the International Criminal Police. Moreover, they had seized 3 kilograms of drugs, enough to meet the KPI for a year. The joy of the superiors did not bring luck to Jin-tae. The group's bravery in catching drug criminals was reported on the news. Min-young couldn't help but be excited by Chol-rung's coolness. Min-young's sister saw Jin-tae on the screen and immediately called to question him. She asked him if he wanted to die. She told him to get out of the house with Chol-ryung. She asked Chol-ryung to forget that her whole family almost died. Why did he come again? Everyone almost died before. In the end, Chol-ryung came to save their lives. Chol-ryung's handsome appearance made Min-young and her niece stand by him. When she looked at Chol-ryung's handsome face, she finally let Jin-tae do the mission. At this time, Chol-ryung was willing to reveal the news. Chol-ryung came here from afar because he was entangled in Myung-jun's affairs. After making a profit from drug trafficking across the China-North Korea border, Myung-jun went to North America to produce a new drug that made a lot of money. If he hadn't been caught, he would have hurt many people. But the $1 billion was a secret, so Chol-ryung didn't reveal it. Moreover, he didn't have the chance to say anything. Min-young told Chol-ryung that she had just arrived here and work was just an excuse. Right, Chol-ryung said he came for work. Min-young immediately said he was lying. Min-young took the initiative to make Chol-ryung feel awkward. He had never experienced this kind of training in North Korea. It wasn't that he didn't like it, but because the country wasn't unified yet, so he wasn't in the mood for love. Chol-ryung asked Min-young if she wanted to unify the North and the South. If so, there wouldn't be any problems. If Min-young had such great abilities, she wouldn't have struggled to find a place in the beauty livestream industry. After drinking a small bottle of wine, Min-young forgot all her worries. Unifying the North and the South was her dream, but the matter of the North and the South had not been resolved yet. Another matter came up. Early the next morning, Jin-tae was informed by his colleague that the guy who was arrested yesterday had woken up. But when Jin-tae arrived at the hospital, he saw that Jack had arrived earlier. Jack even took out a business card. Jack said that he represented the American police. Jack also said that everything was now under his control, including the suspected criminal on the bed. The two of them were unhappy about the matter of escorting Myung-jun. After the accident, the escort team had an accident, causing them to lose trust in each other. Was it because he revealed it? How could he believe the guy who secretly made the nuclear bomb? You guys are storing nuclear bombs. Why can't we? Jack refused to believe Chol-ryung. The reason was that he had seen the photo of Chol-ryung and Myung-jun serving in the army. Jack thought that he had revealed the itinerary because of friendship. Now the Americans had blatantly planted someone in. Could it be that he would let himself be bullied in his area? Jin-tae decided to play the sentimental card. Who are we? That year, the Japanese invaded the Korean people and they united to overcome the national disaster. Right, they can't be fooled by the FBI, right? So Chol-ryung revealed another piece of information. Myung-jun didn't come to Korea alone this time. He was accompanied by many technical staff in charge of drug production. Following the clues, Jin-tae discovered a very suspicious theft case. A large amount of benzocyano was missing. This is a raw material in the beauty industry and is also used to synthesize drugs. If they find an abandoned drug factory near where the raw materials were missing, they will be able to wipe out Myung-jun's gang. One person said he had already swept through suspicious places, more than 300 places. That many only filtered out places more than 500 meters from the house. Chol-ryung and Jin-tae were splitting up to find the warehouse. At this time, Jack had secretly let people go out to catch a big fish with a long fishing line. Jack deliberately let his guard down and let the suspect on the bed escape from the hospital. They searched until dark before discovering a suspicious place. If inside was a drug manufacturing facility, there would definitely be a bloody battle. Jin-tae gave Chol Ryung a gun and told his subordinates to stay on duty. If they didn't come out after an hour, he had to call for help. Sure enough, this was a drug manufacturing facility. Jack's group also followed the suspect.
깔끔하게 설거지해라.
Please, show me your hands.
Almost everyone was seriously injured. Chol-rung and Jack were still able to move, so they fought each other. They both thought that the other's stupidity had led to their defeat, but this was Korean territory, so Jin-tae invited the two of them to a barbecue. "We are a superhero team. Now that enemies are everywhere, we should stick together, right?" Jin-tae advised them to be less sensitive and lower their egos, learn a more international foreign style, and help each other out once. If there's anything to convey, just convey it. Finally, Chol-rung told his story. He admitted that he and Myungjin used to be friends, but Myungjin betrayed the revolution. Myungjin also had a group of mercenaries who sold their lives to him, and he earned a lot of money. Jack told him what information he had. Myungjin's $1 billion was swallowed by his accomplices, so he summoned the mercenaries at all costs to steal the money. Everyone was very honest. Jin-tae couldn't be left behind. He admitted that he found a fake passport on the guy in the hospital the other day. Jin-tae was sure that this fake passport of the same quality was made by the Russian-Korean hybrid. They caught that guy so they could catch Myungjin. The three people entered the house with a strong smell of alcohol. Min Young's heart felt like it was shot by Chol Ryung. Her heart had not yet healed when Jack's appearance made it feel like it was about to melt. That charming smile completely defeated Min Young. This made Chol Ryung, who always hid her feelings, jealous. Jack made an excuse to go to Taejin's bathroom. Then he left the wiretapping device there. Jack called to report the work to his superiors. In fact, the information he revealed was completely within his authority and had been approved by his superiors. The three people seemed to be close and intimate, but each had their own intentions. The same went for Chol Ryung. He blocked the signal first and then called his superiors. Chol Ryung said that the American police already knew about the story between Myungjin and his accomplices. If they were allowed to take the $1 billion first, it would not be good. It seemed that those two people had discovered the police officer Jin-tae. Jin-tae was always the first one to fall asleep at the drinking table. He also called his superior. He said he wasn't drunk. Jin-tae told his superior that if he was free, he should come and pay for the barbecue. There were suddenly two more men in the house, which made the girls very excited. The scar from fighting with the gangsters on Jack's back was like a medal. Jin-tae also intended to take off his pants to let the whole family admire the wound on his butt from his brave fight. But Jin-tae was splashed with cold water by Jack. Jack asked Jin-tae if he had ever defused a bomb. Jack had worked in the bomb disposal team for 3 years. He was outstanding in every way. His charm was also beyond measure. The three of them began to secretly compare themselves. Even if they were just going out, they had to dress nicely. The police found out from social media that the guy who made the fake passport was dating a Russian girl, so the three of them immediately went undercover at the bar across the street. They waited from morning to night. Finally, they saw her go out. Jin-tae planned to install a wiretap in her room. There was still a lot of time left, so Min Young took the initiative to take on this task. But what Jin-tae didn't expect was that the guy who made the fake passport was still in the bedroom. Jin-tae beat him up and then handcuffed him. Jin-tae had arranged everything. Jin-tae immediately took him to the police station for interrogation. Jin-tae forced him to tell him how to contact Myungjin. He didn't say anything. Jin-tae threatened that if he didn't tell the truth, he would contact the Russian police and take him to Siberia to dig potatoes. To make him trust Jack, he had to disguise himself as a Russian police officer.
Kıza tuvalet! Kıza tuvalet! Kıza tuvalet!
Jack planned to take him to the bathroom so he could experience what it was like to be a real man. At this moment, the guy begged. He told him Myungjin's phone number. At this time, Myungjin was still at the drug factory. He was testing a new type of poison gas. He knew about the negotiations between South Korea and North Korea. He planned to disperse the poison gas before the conference and capture the participants from both countries. Then the whole city would become guinea pigs. Luckily, he had a phone number so the young policeman could find out Myungjin's movements. Based on on the recent phone number, they discovered that he often appeared at the nightclub owned by the owner John. To save time, Jin-tae did not ask for an arrest warrant, but pretended to be a customer and sneaked in. When Myung-jun appeared, Jin-tae would arrest him. Jin-tae had never been to a nightclub before, so he did not know that VIP guests all had private rooms. Therefore, it was difficult for Jin-tae to meet Myung-jun. This method did not work, so they used a beauty trap. Min-young had been to a nightclub before. Just dress up and you are guaranteed to be the hottest on the dance floor. At that time, all men would be attracted to look at you.
영장 집행 들어갑니다.
네, 에이스 확인했습니다.
The three of them then screened each other one by one. The plan was perfect, but Myung-jun didn't fall for it. His only purpose in going to the nightclub was to get back the $1 billion that Madame Jang kept. But the money had already gone into her pocket, so it wasn't easy for him to get it back. Madame Jang used the law of the jungle. She only agreed to give Myung-jun $5 million and told him to seek asylum in the Philippines. She said it was best for him to quit his job and not be involved in the underworld anymore. As for the $1 billion, Myung-jun should forget about it. A cruel person like Myung-jun wouldn't lose. In the end, Madame Jang agreed to give up the key to the Swiss bank. The $1 billion went to Myung-jun. Myung-jun killed a bunch of people because he already knew that they were in cahoots with the American police. Now he not only found luck in danger, but also ate the $1 billion himself.
네가 FBI 첩질한 건 내 모를 줄 알았니? 듣기 전에. 저기 간다.
Cho Ryung didn't do that because he was stealing the credit. His superiors told Cho Ryung to bring back $1 billion or they wouldn't be able to solve the food problem. So even though he was surrounded by Jack's men, Cho Ryung still insisted on leading Cho Ryung back according to the agreement between the two countries. If it went on like this, both the people and the money would return smoothly to North Korea. Under the general's guidance, Cho Ryung went to meet the leader himself. But when Cho Ryung handed over the key, he realized something was wrong. The gecko tattoo on the leader's hand made Cho Ryung realize something was wrong. Was Myung-jun just bait? Leader behind him was the big fish. Cho Ryung hoped that Jin-tae and Jack would help him, but Cho Ryung's actions yesterday made them not believe him anymore. Jin-tae's family was suddenly targeted by a drug gang. Jack's superior betrayed the revolution. He sent an assassin to kill Jack. Jack's intuition was right. The leader was the one who was really behind the scene that year. He had tricked Myung-jun. He used the excuse of using US dollars to save the people. Then he lured Myung-jun to abandon all dignity as an officer and switch to drug trafficking. Unexpectedly, so many people sacrificed and did so many things in the end just to satisfy his selfish desires. Even Jack's superior in the US was involved. The situation was urgent, so now was not the time for them to vent their anger. They had to put aside their previous grudges and cooperate with each other. Cho Rim was in charge of dealing with Myung-jun and the leader. Jack will rescue Jin-tae's family from the hands of the gangsters. Myung-jun wasn't just following orders from his superiors. Myung-jun had already asked hackers to attack the banking system. Just as the leader was transferring money, he saw that the account had been hacked. $1 billion was decreasing continuously. He immediately cursed. Actually, Myung-jun didn't trust the leader from the beginning. That year, he even harmed Myung-jun's entire family because he wanted Myung-jun to work loyally for him. So this $1 billion was a trap that Myung-jun had set for many years. In the end, Myung-jun lured him abroad. As a husband and a father, no matter what Myung-jun did, he had to kill the culprit. Chol Rung came here for a mission. Chol Rung didn't care what conflicts they had. Chol Rung only knew that he needed to escort Myungjin and $1 billion back to North Korea. Chol Rung had no teammates, so he rushed in alone. Chol Ryung asked what he wanted in the end. What was poison gas? Myungjin told Chol Ryung everything that he had ordered someone to put a poison gas device on the roof. Just press the button and 5 minutes later, the effect would be visible. Within a radius of 3,000 meters, there would be no living creature left. Time was running out. Luckily, Jin-tae broke the plan. Jin-tae came to support Chol Ryung.
저 어머라.
대한민국 영토 안에 들어왔다는 거 둘째. 그래서 어쩔 거니 약해 빠진 새끼야.
Myungjin went crazy, not only because of the leader, but also because his family was harmed that year. The South Korean side refused to support him, so his wife and daughter were burned alive. That's why Myungjin hated all of Korea. Today, Myungjin wanted to drag everyone to death with him. Myungjin thought that the trash of the South Korean side should taste some pain. Even though Jin-tae was close to the poison gas device, he didn't know how to stop it. Jin-tae suddenly remembered that Jack had said that he had worked in the bomb disposal unit for 2 years. So Jin-tae immediately made a video call to Jack for help. Jack still remembered that the bigger the bomb, the more keys were needed. This big bomb needed a key to stop it.
열쇠! 폭탄 해체할 수 있는!
more. 좀 더.
The people of the entire city were saved. This danger had been resolved. Last time, Jin-tae's whole family almost died. This time, the whole city almost died. Chol Rung was worried about whether he could get Jin-tae's wife to let him enter the gate, but Jin-tae confidently said it was okay. Chol Rung just had to kneel down. The 3 men exuded charisma that made the 3 women's hearts pound. The problem of $1 billion had been solved. The United Nations Children's Fund had finally appeared. They converted the money into food aid for North Korea to save face for all parties. Everyone was happy. Chol Ryung had finally completed his mission. Above is the entire content of the movie. Thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye and see you again.